Welcome to a course on differentiation. This is the second part of the calculus course that we are running in our channel. Differentiation. What do we mean by differentiation? It is the rate of change. Okay. In simple terms, we call it as rate of change, and this rate of change mathematically called as the differentiation. Okay. What kind of rate of change we are dealing? It is the ratio of the change in a function whenever there is a small change in variable. So this is what we call it as the differentiation. Let us see the mathematical and technical aspects of differentiation now. So let us define it properly now. We are talking about a real valued function, right? So let f be a real valued continuous function. That is very important in the context of differentiation, right? If a function is not continuous, then of course it is not differentiable. If the function is not continuous at a particular point, then the derivative does not exist at that point. Okay, this function is defined on an interval a b, right? Okay, with this then we say if limit t approaches x, okay, of the thing f of t minus f of x upon t minus x exists for t not equals x, a smaller than t smaller than b, then this limit is called the derivative of f of x at the point t equals x and is denoted by f prime of x. In a simpler notation, if we take, okay, let me do it in another color. If we take t to be, okay, we need what? This t approaches x. So when I take t to be x plus delta x, then my t minus x would be what? X plus delta x minus x, which is going to be simply delta x. My t approaches x is equivalent to, say, x plus delta x approaches x, which is equivalent to delta x approaches 0, because x is a fixed quantity here, right? So this is going to happen. So with this we shall rephrase the definition as limit delta x approaches 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x upon delta x. Okay, this one. Okay, here t approaches x, we are talking about real valued functions. So if this is my x, this is t axis and this is f of t. Okay, my t may approach either from left or from right. So these two things may happen. So this one we call it as right hand limit, or here simply right derivative. Okay, from right side we are talking these things. This is right derivative, and similarly f of x minus f of x minus delta x upon delta x. This one we call it as left derivative. If both the left and right derivative exist and they are equal, then we say that the limit exists. This limit exists and is same as that of these values. Okay, so then if f prime of x exists for all points of x, then we say that f is differentiable on x. Okay, here we are initially we have taken the function which is defined on the closed interval a comma b. In the closed interval a comma b, can we talk about left and right derivatives or simply this limit? Here on the point a we can talk only about the right derivative, and on the point b we can talk only about the left derivative. The other cannot be spoken in these cases, right? Now let us see a theorem. So the first theorem of the differentiation, that is, we have a function which is defined on if f is differentiable at a particular point x in the interval ab, then f is continuous at point x. So this is what we are about to prove now. Given f prime of x exists, right? It is given that it is differentiable at the point x. So we have directly written this is exists. This means limit t approaches x, f of t minus f of x upon t minus x is the this one exists. This one exists means this is some finite quantity. That is what we mean by saying this limit exists, right? It's a finite quantity which is a unique finite quantity, right? Now let us consider f of t minus f of x. This may be written as f of t minus f of x upon t minus x times of t minus x. Okay, here t is not same as that of x. Then this is well defined. Now let us take limit as t approaches x on both the sides. Then what is going to happen? Limit t approaches x, f of t minus f of x, which is limit t approaches x, f of t minus f of x upon t minus x times of t minus x. The limit is for both the terms. Now we shall make use of the difference rule and the product rule of limits. Hence we'll have limit t approaches x, f of t minus limit t approaches x, f of x. This is limit t approaches x, f of t minus f of x upon t minus x, and limit t approaches x, t minus x. So this remains the same, and this is simply f of x. Since this function is independent of t, it is treated like a constant function, so constant here. So we get this one. This quantity is f prime of x, and this quantity is 0, therefore it is 0. Hence what do you get? Limit t approaches x, f of t equals f of x. This tells you f is continuous at the point x, and this completes the proof. So with the help of this theorem, what shall we conclude is that, okay, let us remark, differentiable functions are continuous, but the converse need not be true, right? So okay, this is the only remark that we have. So let me write simply Let us see some example. Let us consider the function f of x as x squared. Okay, we know that this function is continuous, right? Let me try to find out the general derivative of this one. So now I'll have to find out x plus delta x. So this happens to be x plus delta x the whole square. Using the formulas that we have studied in our school days, we shall write this to be like this. Okay, if you find f of x minus delta x, this happens to be x minus delta x whole square, which is x square minus 2x delta x plus delta x whole squared. Now f of x plus delta x minus f of x, this is x square plus 2x delta x plus delta x whole square minus x squared. If you divide this by delta x, what would you get? X square gets cancelled and delta x can be cancelled from both the terms. We are left with 2x plus delta x, right? When you take limit delta x approaches 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x upon delta x, this term goes to 0 and you will be left with simply 2x, right? So we have found the right thing, and when we do the left thing, f of x minus f of x minus delta x upon delta x, and this happens to be x squared minus x squared minus of minus 2x delta x plus delta x squared upon delta x. So x squared gets cancelled, minus minus becomes plus, and once you cancel delta x, you will be left with 2x minus delta x. And when you make your limit delta x approaches 0, you have this quantity to be 2x. With this, what shall we conclude? F prime of x is 2x. We all might have studied in our school days that the derivative of x square is simply 2x. With the formula that we have, remember these things. But this is how, through limits, we calculate the derivative, right? So differentiable functions are continuous. Here I have given you an example of a differentiable function, and we have very well verified this is a continuous function when we have studied the concepts of continuity. Now let me give you an example of continuous function for which the derivative does not exist. That is, f of x is absolute of x. This is defined in the sense when x is non-negative and minus x when x is negative. Here I am not simply saying this function is not differentiable at all the points. The point which creates the problem here is the point 0, right? So I will have to talk about limit delta x approaches 0, f of 0 plus delta x minus f of 0 upon delta x, and limit delta x approaches 0, f of 0 minus f of 0 minus delta x. These two are the points to which I will have to talk. Okay, so this is limit delta x approaches 0, 0 plus delta x. This delta x is a very small positive quantity. Like in the previous chapters, like continuity, we have taken h, right? That is being replaced by delta x here. That's it. So h is some delta x is some small positive quantity. Therefore, this 0 plus delta x lands in the first case. Therefore, we'll have simply delta x, and f of 0 is 0. So upon delta x, this gives us limit delta x approaches 0 times of 1, which is going to be 1. Here limit delta x approaches 0. Here if you see, f of 0 is 0. This is f of minus delta x. So minus of this would give you what? You might take this minus. Delta x is a positive quantity. Therefore, this minus makes it a negative quantity. So negative means minus of this one. Already we have minus here. and because of this we have minus of minus delta x upon delta x. This gives us limit delta x approaches 0 minus delta x upon delta x, which happens to be minus 1. And when you take this limit also, you are going to get minus 1. Here, right derivative is not same as that of left derivative. Hence, derivative of the function f of x does not exist when x is 0. But this is a continuous function. I have given you an example where the function is continuous but the derivative does not exist, right? Combining these things and try to see them in a diagrammatic way. If you see the graph of this absolute of x, this is of something like this. In a graph, if you have a sharp edges, those are points in which the derivative does not exist. Just because you don't have a break at that point, the function is being continuous. Okay? Thank you.